Oh, look at that.
Oh, dude, I actually
Uh,
haven't read this like scroll in like
yeah,
forever.
same. I kinda wanna read it out loud.
Oh, go for it, Mr. Narrator. I'm vibing.
See the player you mean. Semadrid? Captain are you still hold on.
No, I'm not Captain Girly. I'm Lizard 307. Thank you.
Oh, my bad, I kinda broke the fourth wall there.
No, no, they've seen me as Captain Girly before. It's fine.
Here, it has reached a higher level now. It can read our thoughts. That
Wait, I
doesn't
can I
matter.
can do green. I can do green. That doesn't
Yeah, you
matter.
do green.
It thinks we are part of the game.
I like this player. It played well. It did not give up.
It's reading our thoughts as though they were words on a screen.
And that is how it chooses to imagine many things when it is deep in the dream of a game.
Words make a wonderful interface, very flexible, and less terrifying than staring at the reality behind the screen.
They used to hear voices before players could read, back in the days when those who did not play called the players witches and warlocks, and players dreamed they flew through the air on sticks powered by demons.
What did this player dream?
This player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed it created, and it dreamed it destroyed. It dreamed it hunted and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter.
Ha! The original interface. A million years old and it still works. But what true structure did this player create in the reality behind the screen?
It worked with a million others to sculpt the true world to fall and created for the.
You cannot read that thought.
No, it has
Wow, we're
not
just
yet achieved
it.
the highest level. That it must achieve in the long dream of life, not the short dream of a game.
Does it know that we love it? That the universe is kind?
Sometimes, through the noise of its thoughts, it hears the universe, yes.
But there are times it is sad in the long dream. It creates worlds that have no summer, and it shivers under a black sun, and it takes its sad creation for reality.
To cure it of sorrow would destroy it. The sorrow is a part of its own private task. We cannot interfere.
Sometimes when they are deep in dreams, I want to tell them they are building true worlds in reality. Sometimes I want to tell them of their importance to the universe. Sometimes when they have not made a true connection in a while, I want to help them to speak the word they fear.
It reads our thoughts.
Sometimes I do not care. Sometimes I wish to tell them this world you take for the truth is merely bleh and bleh. I wish to tell them they are bleh in the
And,
bleh, but there is
and yet
so little of reality in their long dream.
and yet they play the game. It's going too fast. I
But it
can't
would
see
be
it
so
anymore.
easy to tell them. You can't see it
Uh,
anymore?
no.
Too short for this dream.
Uh,
I'll tell them how to live. This is prevent them living. I will not tell the player how to live. If the player is growing restless, I will tell the player a story, but not the truth. No, a story that contains the truth safely, in a cage of words, not the naked truth that can burn over any distance.
give it a body again.
Yes, player.
Use its name.
Karasu, or Simadrib, or Lizard 307, or Captain Girly. Player of games.
Good.
Take a breath now. Take another. Feel air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again, under gravity, in air. Respawn in a long dream. There you are, your body touching the universe again at every point, as though you were separate things, as though we were separate things.
Who are we? Once we were called the Spirit of the Mountain, Father Sun, Mother Moon, ancestral spirits, animal guardians, jinn, ghosts, the Green Man, then gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, aliens, extraterrestrials, leopards,
Of
where I
course, the
can.
world's changed. We do not change. We're the universe. We are everything you think. It isn't. You think isn't you. You are looking at us now through your skin and your eyes. And why does the universe touch your skin and throw light on you? To see you, player, to know you, and to be known. It shall tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a player. The player
Player
was
was
you.
you.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes, okay, oh, mine is a long part. Sometimes it thought itself human on the thin crust of a spinning globe of molten rock. The ball of molten rock circled a ball of blazing gas that was 330,000 times more massive than it. They were so far apart, and the light took 8 minutes to cross the gap. The light was information from a star, and it could burn your skin from 150 kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of a world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of white. The days were short. There was much to do, and death was a temporary inconvenience. Sometimes the
Sometimes the
player.
dream.
I don't know where you cut off.
I know it's. I'm gone. I'm
Sometimes
so
the
far
player
behind.
dreamed it was lost in a story. Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things in other places. Sometimes these dreams were disturbing. Some things very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke from one dream into another and woke from that into a third. Sometimes the player dreamed it watched worlds on a screen. Let's go back. The atoms of the player were scattered in the grass and the rivers and in the air, in the ground. A woman gathered the atoms. She drank and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body. And the player awoke from the warm, dark world of the mother's body into the long dream. And the player was a new story, never told before, written in letters of DNA. And the player was a new program, never run before, and generated by source code a billion years old. And the player was a new human, never alive before, and made nothing but milk and love. You are the player, the story, the program, the human, made from nothing but milk and love. Let's go further back. The 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created long before this game in the heart of a star, so the player too is information from a star, and the player moves through a story, which is the forest of information planted by a man called Julian on a flat infinite world created by a man called Marcus, and that exists inside a small private world created by the player, who inhabits a universe created by Shush. Sometimes the player created a small private world that was soft and warm and simple, sometimes hard and cold and complicated, sometimes it built in a model of the universe in its head. Flecks of energy moving through vast empty spaces, sometimes it's called these flecks electrons and protons. Sometimes called them planets and stars. Sometimes it believed it was a universe that was made of the energy of offset on zeros and ones, lines of code. Sometimes it was believed playing a game. Sometimes it was believed reading words on a screen. You are the player, reading words. Shush. Sometimes the player reads lines of code on screen, decoded into words, into meaning, decoded into meaning, into feelings, emotions, theories, ideas, and the player started to breathe faster and deeper, realized it was alive. It was alive, and those 1,000 deaths had not been real. The player was alive. You are alive. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the light that fell from the crisp night sky of the winter, where a fleck of the light in the corner of the player's eyes might be a star and a million times as massive as the sun, boiling in its planets to the plasma in order to be visible in the moment of the player walking home on the far side of the universe, smelling food, almost a familiar door, about to dream again. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrolling words on a screen at the end of a dream. And the universe said, I love you. And the universe said, you have played the game well. And the universe said, everything you need is within you. The universe said, you are stronger than you know. The universe said, you are daylight. The universe said, you are the night. The universe said, the darkness you fight is within you. The universe said, the light you seek is
Okay,
within
okay,
you.
okay. And the universe said you were not alone.
And the universe said you are not separate from every other thing.
And the universe said you were the universe tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code.
And the universe said, I love you because you are love.
And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream, and the player began a new dream, and the player dreamed again, dreamed better. And the player was the universe, and the player was love. You are the player.
Wake up.